My coworker brought the best cookies anyone had ever tasted to the office potluck and refused to tell a single soul what was in them. She set them on the table between the store-bought hummus and the sad fruit platter, and within 20 minutes the plate was empty and 14 people were standing around her desk, asking for the recipe. She smiled, shook her head, and said, "Family secret." Then she went back to her spreadsheet. I'm not a baker. I can barely make toast without setting off the smoke alarm. But those cookies did something to me. Crispy on the outside, chewy in the middle, something warm and spiced that I couldn't name. Not cinnamon, not nutmeg, something else. Something that tasted like the answer to a question I didn't know I was asking. Her name is Dolores. She's 63. She's worked in accounts receivable since before I was born. She brings baked goods to every office event, and every single time someone asks for the recipe, she gives the same answer. Family secret. She says it sweetly, like she's doing you a favor by keeping it from you. I tried the direct approach first. I stopped by her desk with a coffee. "Dolores, those cookies were incredible. Would you ever consider sharing the recipe?" She looked at me over her reading glasses. "No." Then she took the coffee and said, "Thank you, sweetheart." I tried again the following week. Brought her flowers. Complimented her blouse. Asked casually what was in the cookies. She said love. I said and? She said patience. I said the actual ingredients. She patted my hand and said, "Some things are better left mysterious." I went home and tried to reverse engineer them from taste memory. I googled every combination of words I could think of. Spiced, chewy cookie. Brown butter mystery cookie. Cookie that makes you rethink your entire life. Nothing matched. I baked 4 batches using 4 different recipes, and all of them tasted like apology letters written by someone who'd never met a cookie. I posted about it online, described the texture, the color, the flavor, the way they crumbled. Within an hour, 30 people had responded. Someone said it sounded like a Lebkuchen. Someone said Afghan biscuits from New Zealand. Someone said their grandmother in Trinidad made something similar with molasses and cardamom. A woman in Glasgow sent me her great-aunt's handwritten recipe card, photographed on a tea-stained tablecloth. I tried 7 of the suggestions over 2 weekends. My kitchen looked like a crime scene dusted in flour. My smoke alarm went off 3 times. My cat stopped coming into the kitchen entirely. Nothing was right. Close, but not right. Like humming a song you can't quite remember. The following Monday, Dolores brought a new batch to the office. Different shape this time. Rolled in powdered sugar. Same magic. I ate 3 and sat at my desk, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out what spice was haunting me. My coworker Priya tried a different tactic. She told Dolores she had a severe allergy and needed to know every ingredient for safety reasons. Dolores looked at her and said, "Then don't eat them." Priya ate 4. I went back online and posted the update. Described the powdered sugar version. Mentioned the spice I couldn't identify. A retired pastry chef in Montreal responded and said, "That sounds like white pepper in a cookie." I would never have guessed that in 1,000 years. I baked a batch with white pepper that night, stood at my counter at 11 p.m. and bit into one, and my knees actually buckled. It was close. So close I could feel Dolores's kitchen from mine. I brought a tin to work the next day and left it on her desk with a note that said, "Am I close?" She came to find me an hour later. She was holding one of my cookies with a bite taken out of it. Her glasses were pushed up onto her forehead. She looked at me for a long time. "Who told you about the white pepper?" I said, "The internet." She stared at me. Then she laughed. A real laugh. The kind that comes from the belly and shakes the shoulders. She laughed so hard she had to sit down in my chair. "You're ridiculous," she said. Then she leaned forward. "You're also missing the orange zest." That was it. That was all she gave me. One ingredient. Like tossing a single breadcrumb to someone lost in a forest. But she was smiling when she said it. And the next morning there was a sticky note on my monitor that said, "Closer than anyone's ever gotten. Don't push your luck." I didn't push. But every potluck after that, she'd set her plate next to mine, and we'd stand together while people lost their minds over both batches. Nobody could tell whose was whose. She still won't give me the full recipe. I've stopped asking. Some friendships are built on honesty, and some are built on a woman named Dolores, who guards a cookie recipe like a state secret, and a coworker too stubborn to stop guessing. I'll crack it eventually. She knows I will. I think that's why she keeps baking.